fun to replace, you know. Okay, so let's start this fire board meeting. I'd like to call the fire board meeting of August 18th to order. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Aldrich. Here. Chapman.
Here.
Fox.
Here.
Kerplank. Here. Phelps.
Yes.
Cullen.
Here. And North is excused. Could we all turn off our cell phones, please, and please don't text during the meeting? And could we have approval of the agenda, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as it stands.
Second.
I have a motion by Phelps, second by Fox. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Could we have approval of the minutes of the July 21st regular board meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the July 21st regular meeting in 2025.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Poland and a second by Phelps to approve the July 21st regular meeting minutes. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have no special guests. Oh, public comment. Anybody out there want to make a comment? Not yet, Chair?
He's gonna speak up one of these days.
Someday. Okay. Special guest speakers, none. Request for payment.
I'll make a motion to approve the payments of $181,820.45.
I'll support.
Motion by Phelps, support by Beckman, to approve the minute, or the, whatever we're doing here, the accounts payable. Is there any discussion?
What was the radios for the boats?
So when we had a couple incidents with the Coast Guard, we had no ability to talk with them, so we had to change the radio in 91, the big boat. And then the problem we had in 94 was when we were on Lake Michigan, we couldn't hear. We couldn't hear the activity of the radio for all the background noise, so we put headsets in that. That was $6,000 just for that
Just
boat.
for that?
So I'm sorry.
No, we gotta do it.
We tried it for 2 years, and then that wasn't even with the fire pump on. It's just,
It's
the
noisy.
metal boat just was so loud.
Okay, anybody else? We have a roll call vote, please.
Phelps.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Fox.
Yes.
Kerplank.
Yes.
Cullen.
Yes.
I forgot to ask one thing. The truck washer.
So, right, that's an undercarriage truck washer, because we found our trucks are rusting underneath in the wintertime, and we researched this, and we heard rumor that Holland Fire Department researched it and decided to pick one. The company's Tommy's, it's in Holland.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a cat pump pressure washer, and then there's a mechanism with a T-handle that you push underneath, and it sprays the salt off underneath. That's where we had a plastic one we did that, but this is a better system. Unfortunately, it was about $9,000. That's what we decided to do.
Oh, makes sense, pay for itself.
Yep.
Not for us.
They are, yeah, the chassis are the things that are taking the beating on that.
That's always been a problem.
A lot of stations now, what they're doing, they actually put it in the floor. They didn't in Holland, I'm not sure why, but they decided to go this route. So I took their research and contacted them, rather than reinvent the wheel.
That's-
Wheel? Yeah, it's like a dolly, you know, you push it underneath, extend the handle, and it flushes all that crud off underneath.
I'll be here at the
I was just
winter.
gonna say, stopping by to make sure that thing works. I thought I'd try it out for a year.
Can we have a financial report, please?
Okay, item 9B, really not knowing the revenue coming in, some interest and cost of recovery, and that's about it. Taxes will be sent out December 1st, it'll be here before we know it. And then the expenses, you can see insurance, a couple of large item bills that are just paid annually or semi-annually. Had a large payroll in the month of July, but I think we're just busy, and I don't think there's anything that's out of insurance currently. I don't know if anybody has any questions or...
Anybody, questions? Okay, thanks, Peter. Moving on. Fire chief comments.
All right, so, thank you. Wendy, if you could switch to the monthly data that Eric has prepared. So, on your dashboard, I have 4 things to share with you. The 132 calls for July was a record tying of July of 2024. The most the department has had in any month is 132 calls. We tied that. For the year, we're up about 4+% for the year. Response times holding pretty true at about 7 minutes. That's always good. We like to see that. Overlapping calls for the year at about 32%. Typical. Comment regarding motor vehicle incidents. So we're up a little on crashes. We had, you'll notice in here in the dashboard, we continue to reap the benefits of the roundabout at Old Allegan Road and Blue Star. We had a motorcycle accident the other day. In that accident, the person was transported, and we asked what was the source of it, because I did traffic control while the guy's treated. It was actually one of our firefighters' daughters that went down. And it was a guy who dropped the phone, reached down to get the phone through the roundabout and hit her. She was released rapidly. So we did have a trauma in there, but it was road rash. She had a helmet on, thank God. So I wanted to let you know about that. That's all I have. You can go through this if you like. You can see January to July, you can see all the activity. Everything else pretty much I've covered. There's nothing out of the ordinary.
Would it make sense for us at some point, maybe at the township thing, to compare before and after at that intersection?
Oh, is there a world, yeah.
Because people, don't get on Facebook, because there's idiots there, but they're all bitching about this roundabout. Well, it's not perfect, but it's serving the purpose that we need it to. And I just think maybe a announcement from the township, maybe wait till the end of the year and compare it for previous years.
And just, yep.
And the other thing that will do, Stacy, is when the new ones start arriving.
Yeah, the new one will be a fiber. Ooh.
Well, that'd be a dandy.
What could possibly go wrong there? But it's a larger area, you know, I think part of the problem is the small area.
You mean by the Dune Ride?
Yeah, it's not coming any day soon, but.
It should have been here yesterday.
Yeah, right.
But I think that will help you in the future there,
right.
But it also quiets some.
Well, we can tell from the data that Eric has posted that shows property damage, yes. And actually 64th and Old Allegan Road, or 64th and Blue Star have taken over as the #1 accident, and there's stoplights there.
Yeah.
We all know the issue you have primarily, in my opinion, at the roundabout now is north and south don't
slow down.
yield.
No, they don't.
They don't slow down, #1, they don't yield. They don't recognize when you're in the circle, you've got the right. And that's the 2 problems we're having.
Well, I think your comment there is a good one to point out to the public also, that used to be probably the dangerous intersection we had. Now it's gone over to a light, which everyone says, why did they just put a light there?
Because they'll be backing up over the bridge.
You know, that response from us would be engineering has shown data-wise that roundabouts have less of occurrence of trauma injuries.
Right.
And it's just Americans aren't used to it yet, so hopefully in 5 years they will be.
They better.
More than
Because more
Yeah,
is
they're
coming.
coming.
More is coming.
Yeah.
The signs they have up with the arrows going in a circle in advance of the roundabout. On that same post, whatever, fence post, whatever sign, you put up a related sign that says, vehicles in the roundabout have the right of way.
That's too much reading, then they're taking their eyes off the road.
Well, I mean, you know, cross traffic does not stop, you know.
Yeah,
You
that would
always
be
just
better.
have to
Read
drive
that.
so
When
defensively.
I was
You
south,
shouldn't have to, but you do.
when I was south of the roundabout, doing traffic control for my guys, trying to get everyone to slow down, I parked on the shoulder with my aero board on and my lights. And they were just north of the intersection with the bike was laid down, the ambulance was loading up. And I'm just looking at it, I don't know what to do. Because they just weren't slowing down. They just kept on going right through it. It's just,
Yeah,
Yes,
like
exactly.
50 miles an
And
hour.
waiting
If you
for a
come to a
secondary.
corner like this, and it's a yield sign for everyone, it's the same frickin' principle.
yeah.
You don't just fly through because you were there, whatever,
They'll-
the guy the other way's
They'll
going.
double up with somebody in front of them.
Oh, they all do that.
Exactly.
Or 5 cars go.
More than once sitting on Blue Star Highway, not sure what this guy's gonna do with this one, and I get somebody beeping at me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of impatient
Oh, well.
They're
people.
very lucky I'm a lady.
I crawl, I ride the brake going through there.
You know, I go.
And you use your turn signals, if you're gonna turn that.
I do.
Yeah.
Well,
I
they're
do.
straight.
Legally, you're supposed to, they can write you a ticket if you don't
I'm
have
not
your right
gonna go
turn
right or
signal
not
on.
left, I'm gonna go straight.
But I just think this information
Yeah.
maybe announced
Yeah.
to the township.
Right.
Here's proof, people. Zip it.
I've seen people put videos on how do you do it, and I don't know, they just don't get it, some of them.
If you're in it, you win it. Plain and simple.
But people were polite. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, if no other questions on the data, cost recovery updates, just a smaller one that I did reduce. I did work with the person that caused this accident, and he's been very thorough at his payments, not a problem. The rest you can read. I think you should know, we're doing an extensive extrication training in the month of September, and Ray's Towing, we've never done this in the 24 years I've been here. 5 cars Ray's Towing donated, and they're hauling them away in pieces. I mean, it's probably 200 hours a car,
That's nice.
so I thought you guys would want to know that. That concludes my chief comments, James.
Okay, moving on, unfinished business. 415 Wiley Road lease purchase agreement discussion update. So.
Dan, Jane?
You wanna start, Dan?
I don't know that I have the latest, from Lisa.
I think what we did first was, we got on a Zoom meeting with Benzinski and consultants.
We haven't, that's it.
Did we didn't share that.
No.
I don't think we did.
Oh, okay, oh, yeah.
So Benzinski and consultants, we met with them, and he asked if we could bring in an attorney. All of that was no cost to the fire district. And the point of contact with Benzinski was from the county administrator, Rob Sarro. He said, you should talk to these people, they've got ideas on what to do. Peter was online, Jane, Dan, myself, Steve Mann, another Stephen, and Mr. Benzinski himself. So he did a brief summary, and then he thought the next step would be to meet with the township. It was recommended that the township be the large body, because they have the largest tax base, to be the ones with the highest limit that would process the bonds. That meeting is on your agenda September 9th. It's a workshop meeting. And Mr. Benzinski himself, Steve Mann, will be there to present. We thought it'd be a great opportunity for those of you who could make to get first-hand information.
And that'll be at the township.
That'll be at the township. We met with Daniel
Stacy?
and Stacy and Peter. Jane, we met at the township, and they were very, very receptive.
Peter was wearing two hats.
Stacy was too.
Yep.
Why?
Stacy was two.
She sat in 2 different chairs. Kept moving.
You set the alarm off.
Oh, we show up.
Yeah, we did have the.
Armed response showed up just because of the chief.
Yeah.
He accidentally did the panic button underneath. We're like, oh, wow, what the
Well,
heck?
kind of foolish.
Yeah.
Still do.
So in the first meeting with Benzinski, we talked about who should be the lead, and we have to have a lead to buy the bonds, because the fire department itself cannot bond. So the township has taken up our quest, and I just talked with Daniel, he thought it was great. We will have a special meeting at the September 9th workshop meeting with the township. So you can all come, you can all ask questions. They said they'd put us first on the agenda, which was very nice of them, so that we can come and go and not listen to all the township business if we don't want to. So, Daniel's all for this. He seems quite interested in our cause, and it looks like it's going smoothly, much more smoothly than I ever thought it would.
Benzinski was very informative,
Yeah.
very simple to understand. This is why you want to do this, right? This is why you don't want to do
But
that.
it's a very particular process.
Right.
Yes.
And it's real easy to screw up along the way, so, and Zinsky, those guys, that's their business.
That's what they do.
They're the ones who understand all this, so they're operating in very familiar waters, because basically they probably helped create the way it is. I think the only, as I recall, the still open is the total amount of money and the period of time for payback, how long to pay back the bond. We've talked now, I mean, we have a rough idea.
How is Zinsky and Associates and the attorney getting paid right now?
They're not,
They're not. They only get paid if you go to
After
with the
like-
bond. Their fee was approximately
they got
$175,000.
$175,000 sitting there waiting for them.
Okay, so they're like a real estate agent, doesn't
Yeah.
happen to the
Correct.
sell?
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
They asked for, and going after Dan's comments, they said, we need the hard costs. So several of the officers and myself met with Carbon 6 representatives, and we went through what they had included, what they had not included, to refine those costs down for here, for 415 Wiley, and the garage. So, existing building, units 1 and 2 in Douglas, that existing building, and then garage. And then we'll have them separate, but it would be one bond.
Okay.
So if, like, say you want to build the sleeping rooms here, what is that going to be? And then you got to heat, ventilate each room, so all that we were asked to get pricing on it.
And didn't we decide that we were gonna go for about $4 million?
With their fee, it was about, just about $4 million. So the question is, the term, you know, as Peter shared with us, 0.4 of a mil was what
Yeah,
we went on before.
every tenth of a mil was what, 100,000?
Right, right. So that's where the 400,000 came from.
And in terms of the taxpayers, there's already a .4 mil 1 year for the hire from last year that we did. That'll go off simultaneously with this going on. And while we'd be transparent about that, the reality is, nobody's gonna see their taxes jump all of a sudden. They're just gonna stay at that level longer than it's gonna be right now.
What will be how long?
Well,
We don't know.
We don't
I don't
know.
know.
That's what we're gonna kind of hone in on September 9th, you know, 5-year, 10-year. The big question is, how much do we want to have the taxpayers pay each year. And, you know, we crafted that chart for the budget time.
If you do it as .4 mil, it's a 10-year bond. To get-
Without interest, you know.
Without it, to get to 4 mil,
Yeah.
so, plus or minus, yeah.
Yep, we were gonna look at what it was for 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years, right?
So you can go any term, it didn't have to be 30 or 20, be 5, 7, or 10.
Right. And we did the
But
four.
then the costs.
Yeah, we did the 4 million just to be safe. You can not spend all of it, but you can't ask for more.
That's
so-
right.
So, 4 million was a safe number, we thought, so far.
After meeting with Carbon 6, 4 million.
I was gonna say, how does that come out with that? I mean, what was the net of give back from stuff they put in that we didn't need versus stuff that...
There was clarification, for example, on the garage down at 415, they didn't include an exhaust system. NFPA, National Fire Protection Association, would make you put that in because it's cancer causing. We also said you need to have one here. That was added on this, so we added the kitchen out of this building, exhaust system, parking lot. The rooms, HVAC, we were about $687,000 for this building.
I thought we had a system on the garage down there.
We only have a ventilation system that sucks it out. We don't have anything to filter out
Replace it.
contaminants.
Okay.
And we can tell by the filters, we can only get 15 days out of this filter. And we can tell it's just not a good situation. And we added the sprinkler system for here into that bond. So we guesstimated that based on the price per square foot that they charged for down there, $369 a foot, so I upped it to $4 a foot. So we came in with some hard costs on the HVAC and kitchens. And then we went through, we met down there and we said, hey, can you tell us what the bathrooms would be if we went through you guys, what it would be to modify the bathrooms for showers and phone system and IT and things like that. And then we went into the other phase of the garage. There's a mezzanine up in there. So we went through all those numbers and they're gonna come back with the figures. And we asked them to try to have that by September 9th. But the 4 million was a target number. That's not in a contract or anything.
That's not set in stone yet.
Right, and that covers this, see if Peter thinks.
Thanks, Peter.
Aye.
And again, it covers this, covers 415, and it covers the garage at 415.
Do you have that automatic truck washer on underneath?
Actually, we did add that in down there.
Good.
We did. So they're working on that, and, you know, one of the things Carbon 6 said, so we're adding up these numbers, because you've got these different locations, and he says, I think you forgot about the money you have to pay for the building, the $600,000. They caught that.
That's kind of important.
You're right.
Yeah.
We didn't have it in there. They caught it.
Oh, that was good for them.
So it was a good meeting. You know, I think they're doing a lot of effort. With no assurance we'll do anything. And they said, you know, typically, we don't start processing this until there's a contract for design. But they did.
I was gonna say too, relative to the township,
Yeah.
that this bonding thing, as Shane said, went extremely smoothly and was very thoughtfully and well received by you, by Daniel, and by Peter. And that's a huge deal. I only know closely one other jurisdiction, and I can promise you it would have been a very different story there. I don't know about the third one.
That's what we do.
The third one
You
may
know,
have
that was what we
conflict of
ran
interest.
on,
And
you
that-
know?
well, they- who knows?
Collaboration
I mean,
Yeah, they
and
could have
cooperation and not to be antagonizing.
That was one of the most, I
We're not like that.
I
this
told
board.
Daniel, the township governance is guided by written principles, written
Mhm.
beliefs, written values.
Mhm.
And those were referenced in that meeting, and they were appropriately referenced, I mean, on collaboration and whatever. Again, our other jurisdictions might do well to
Take a lesson.
take a lesson, because I've never heard in a council meeting someone refer to our guiding principles, our values,
Our
our
mission
mission statement, whatever. It doesn't exist, and so, no surprise, the ship of state just keeps wandering, whatever way the wind's blowing. So anyway, at least, I know Jane felt the same way, really deep gratitude, because,
Thank you, that's nice to hear.
well, I don't think this happens without this deal.
Well, and Daniel had overnight to prepare for this meeting, and
Right.
he was so well prepared. I was just
Isn't he brilliant?
amazed
Yeah, he's wonderful.
at
He also
How
has a
prepared.
strong relationship with Mr. Benzinski and
Yeah.
Steve Mann.
Uh,
So we know Daniel. So you had this connection of working together, going through this for the Van Horn hydrant system. So it was really a very fruitful meeting. You're just waiting for the bomb to drop at that, and it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
right.
That was great. Well,
Until the police came.
Yeah. Till the panic button got hit.
Yeah.
And,
You said the magic word, you said bomb, and then
Greg was just testing them.
They came right
Well,
away.
after they left, I thought, I hope Lori didn't press it and something's going on up there, but no, we decided it was us, right? Yeah.
Oh, what's this button do?
I don't know, your knee
I
hit
didn't
it.
even know.
No, I think your knee hit it, didn't it? Yeah.
We should look.
Not the red button.
You can't be over 6'3".
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you should push back before you cross your legs. So anyway, the new hire process. Mike Betts and I have been working with Greg to organize the new hires. We've decided to go ahead and hire 3 firefighters at this time because we've had all this money build up from not hiring them in the past, so we have enough money for 3 firefighters. So, we will do, agility testing is scheduled for September 10th or 12th, and the interviews will be in the afternoon of September 19th, I believe. Yes. And, we have 6 internal applicants? We still
Correct.
have 6? We have 6. So, that's when the interviews will be. Hopefully we'll get them on board. This is gonna probably leave a few holes in our duty roster.
Pay on call. yeah.
So then we're gonna have to deal with that, but first things first. Then the administrative position, we're gonna hold until after we get this firefighter positions filled. So that's where we are with that.
Are these full-time?
Yes,
And that's where the 6 internal come, they're part-time?
yes.
Thank you.
And, the chief has just had a lot on his plate, so Mike and I picked up the slack.
I appreciate that.
Good, thank you for doing that.
So, moving on, MMR, MA renewal.
So this was the brainchild of Eric, I believe. You mentioned that we should look at the deductible, and I think Scott had mentioned something as well. And I think if you look in your packet, you'll see, some of what we paid for over the years. And what I'm looking for is, what was it gonna lower it?
I did not see that in the packet.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
No, I didn't.
In this thing?
No.
It's not on page 11.
No.
I didn't see it.
Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone real fast. Sorry about that. Beat the clock, beat the clock.
Like to see that in like a spreadsheet 2020's Wednesday.
Okay, I've got it.
And
For a 5,000 deductible, contribution would decrease the premium by $6,329. So right now, you're at $1,000 deductible. So if you went to a $5,000 deductible, you would save $6,300 a year. If you went to a $10,000 deductible, you would decrease the premium by $8,600.
Do you think that's worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I have 1% deductible on my boat.
I mean, if you take the boat out of these numbers, which is kind of a fluke, I mean, a lot of those would have.
Right. And the boat was $130,000 of that.
Yeah.
And there was one, you'll see in there like a $4,300 bill that was for legal advice for, the Boswell Padma
Yeah.
situation. So, you know, in my opinion only, I think you've got enough of a fund balance to absorb the first $10,000.
Easily.
And I think, you know, Scott and Eric saw that before I even did. And I think that would be very wise for the board to consider. You can absorb the $10,000, I believe. You know, and we have worked pretty hard. You can see most of that was people driving out the door with truck doors open.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most of those costs were. And we've worked on that. They're required to walk around that. If somebody does open up a cabinet door to do a truck check, they're required to put a
Tag on it.
tag out. So those were the failures we had at a high cost. And the distractions that you have, we're trying to really, minimize that. You hit a deer, there's not a whole lot you can do. Somebody hit a deer with, I think, was it you, Eric? No, it was Wayne. Wayne hit a deer with you did too? Yeah. You did everything with money.
In one weekend.
So those are things that I think that,
All right,
you
so,
self-insure.
On the one at Bernhardi's accident, what did?
We had to pay all that.
We didn't get anything back for that?
What I did is cost recovery. That was like $3,300. That was for traffic control and everything, but our deductible, I mean, that was very costly to the district because it goes on our insurance. When he went to the hospital, that was our workers' comp insurance.
Yeah.
The difference between the check for the total vehicle to what you replace, you probably absorb $28,000. So that's where you don't win. And that was getting hit by a drunken driver. So it's very frustrating for us to see that.
so Eric, do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to raise the deductible for the MMRA or whatever,
Turbo.
from current 1,000 to 10,000.
Okay, a motion by Beckman and second by Fox. Do you have the motion, Wendy?
Kind of.
So it's to raise the MMRMA deductible from 1,000 to 10,000.
Per occurrence, that's how they say that, right?
Per occurrence?
Per occurrence.
Per occurrence. Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please? Or is there any more discussion? All right, can we have a roll call vote, please?
The only discussion is we can always revisit this later.
Right.
And I'm sure we can change it.
Nowadays-
The other thing would be interesting to see how much our insurance rates went up after all these claims. If we wouldn't have made these claims, would they have stayed lower? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because their formula is longevity. It's a complex formula, because I'm on the state pool and I see this, and they have a formula that's some matrix our algorithm that, okay, you've been a member for 21 years, okay? What's your budget? What's your premium? And what are your losses? What were your losses? Like, that's where I ran this, and I was surprised, I didn't know that was that expensive. But, you know, the district went with MMRMA, what, 2005? The first claim was in 2009, I remember being on this. One of our members lost his hearing aids in the fire. And Chief Block filed the claim to help him out. So, I think that there were some expensive things, you know, somebody backed into one of the police cars in Douglas, one of our guys. Well, oh, here was another one before I came out over. They went down 196 with the light tower up.
Oh, God.
I remember that.
So I had to handle that claim when I took over.
Yes, you did.
So stuff happens.
So 4 of those, whatever it is, 7 claims would never have been made.
Yeah. What I hated.
Okay,
Or
can
would've
we have a
been made,
roll
but
call
we-
vote now?
Okay. Beckman?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Aldrich?
Yes.
Ruffline?
Yes.
Stout?
Yes.
Holland?
Yes.
Thank you. I will handle that tomorrow.
Good. New business. New state EMS reporting system transition from image trend to first due report from IT director.
With your permission, I'd like to have Eric, accompanied by David, he'll provide a brief summary.
Yeah. Back in late May, early June, we learned from the state that the current way of doing EMS reports would go away. And we would have until the end of August, with a grace period for a department that was not really ready to do the transition. They could still file in September, but by September 30, the old way of doing EMS reporting is dead, going away. You cannot access the data anymore. So, 3 weeks ago, Dr. David and I, we attended a kickoff meeting. The state have done it in a very sensible way. They divided the whole state up in regions. So our region was up for August. So late July, we had this meeting and we were introduced to how the system is working. And the way you report EMS is, no matter which vendor you use, there's an EMS standard. All vendors have to apply that standard. So going from one system to another is not something that's mad. You have to learn something completely new. The only thing you have to learn is a different way of filing the same data points. And so it has not been a very cumbersome process. Immediately after that kickoff meeting for 3 weeks ago, I started configuring the system, and then a week after that, Dave and I sat down and started filing a report on a test basis to see how do we do it now. So we started a little bit different compared to the old system, but actually no big deal. And since then, Dave went in and took some reports that was filed in the old system of August. We took them over and refiled them again under the new system. So as of today, we are completely up to date with EMS reporting in the new system. And I spot check Dave's filings, and they're superb. So
I paid him.
yeah.
He's an excellent
So
teacher,
it
and did
has
a
been-
whole lot of work with this.
It's been very good. We have a more up-to-date, more user-friendly way of filing these EMS reports.
That's great to hear. Eric said, I wonder how the other departments are doing. So I called two of the more progressive fire departments, and they had not even started it yet.
And the
So-
state is getting very concerned because there's a lot of departments that has not participated in these kick-off meetings or in the training sessions that the state also offered, but there's gonna be some panic at the end of this month and certainly in the next month when they are shutting the old system down, so.
Eric, will your reports that we see every month look different or in any respect, or no? The data we see,
Oh, no, the data is exactly the same. It's, all the categories for EMS calls, that's the same because they have to apply to the same standard. So, the categories are exactly named, have the same name. So I'd say, do you have anything to add since you are the...
Well, we're 100% compliant, he's an excellent teacher, and it's not a totally user-friendly system, but we're learning to navigate it.
Yeah.
So I anticipate staying out of Leavenworth.
Well, we're very lucky to have you guys doing this, you know,
Sure, yeah,
between
thank you.
Wendy's doing fire and everything else, David's EMS, and Eric oversees all of it. Because of the load, there's a lot, and I think we know years ago, we weren't up to date with this. And to keep up that momentum, is not easy to do, so.
You'll get Wendy on board for EMS, in...
She's next, right?
When
Yep.
the busy season is dying down. And that means we're ready for December. Because in December, the way we file fire reports will be shut down. So we're going for what's called the NFIRS. You have very often heard Chief and me talk about NFIRS, National Fire Incident Reporting System. That goes away. January 31st, that database will be shut down. And thanks God, because that database is 50 years old. But it's an old federal system, and what they did 50 years ago was amazing. That they had the vision to get all these data lined up, so there was a standard for the whole nation for fire reporting. But that's going away, and that project started 2 years ago, and it's going to be a very, very improved system. We will have so much more freedom to file, and there was a lot of restraints because there was an old database that nobody dared to make changes to because the guys who wrote the database way back when, they all gone today. So that's going to be another interesting transition, and it can be interesting for us because we're using a third-party vendor for filing fire reports. So what we do now, when he files the reports, and then at the end of the month, I compile them and transfer them over to NFIRS, or that's part of Homeland Security, and so that you have to do within a 2 weeks. And after that, after we do the transition, then they will give us, like the state does, they will give us a website, a web interface, so we can file directly. So we don't have to compile by the end of the month and upload to Homeland Security or to FEMA.
We do not?
No, because in the new system you'll be directly on the FEMA database. So whenever Wendy files a fire report, it goes straight up to FEMA. So you will always be compliant if you do your reporting. So that's going to be another major change, but we will be ready for that as well.
Thanks. One last question related to EMS, you put in your email, the history is in the hands of the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
So our historical data, how is that going to dovetail with
Yeah.
the new data?
They promised us that they will transfer 5 years' worth of EMS data at a point of time. I don't know when it will happen, but it'll be something that's nice to have. But our major concern is going forward, how would we find our current runs, and that's going very, very smooth.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. So we've talked briefly about this. The special meeting is Tuesday, September 9th. Please put it in your
What
calendar.
time?
It's at 11 o'clock
11
in the
o'clock.
morning.
I think you missed the
Yep.
apparatus.
Oh,
and
I'm
truck
sorry.
That's okay.
Apparatus and truck re-
Yeah, this is just informational, and you can see it on page 14 of your packet. And essentially, I just wanted to do a 10-year with Eric on what our, because we had a lot of DOT repairs to make on our apparatus, so I knew it was gonna drive up the price, and I just wanted to show you. I think the pie chart really provides a good profile. You can look at it and say, okay, what costs most of the money? Okay, it's the aerial, which is an expensive piece of equipment. So, starting on page 14, I think Eric does a good job with this AI. It shows incident counts, maintenance costs, fuel usage, mileage and cost per mile, cost distribution, and maintenance frequency is what this charting provides a profile on. There was like some discrepancies, like on 2120, our new apparatus attenuator truck, because we used it several times and we never put it in the reporting because it wasn't listed. So we know we had more occurrences than we have in this, not anymore. But though, that's just a minor detail. So it just gives you an idea, like if somebody said to me, and they have, hey Greg, what does it cost to keep 2111? I can look up here and show you what we've spent so far. Well, this fire department, Scott, you remember, we built that truck. Eric, were you on in 2008?
Just.
Okay, so we built that truck in 2008. In all those years, we've only spent $66,000 on it. Not too bad for an engine.
No, that long.
Interesting enough, that's a 2008. I was offered $50,000 for that truck. I know of a neighboring department has a 1999, far more mileage than this one. They wanted $80,000 for it. So it was a good call to keep 2111.
All of these cost per mile numbers strike me as more than reasonable. It's amazing.
Other than the mule.
Yeah, but that's only 73 miles.
Yeah, it's kinda tough there.
It's a low base.
So it's just an interesting way, you know, I like to share this with Scott next door, but he doesn't have any way of putting this data together because he can't capture it. Eric, he could tell him anything and he can figure it out. So this is Eric's genius right here. You can see, you know, what we put in the Morgan 2191, what we put in the boat, and things of that nature. So it's really kind of good to take a look and see, because I've always worried about the cost of the aerial. But the aerial's a 1999 truck. I think he paid about $195,000 for it. Expensive piece of equipment. We used it at the rendering plant on Old Allegan, and we were glad we had it. That's Hamilton. It's used more in Hamilton than anywhere else.
I remember using the,
Squirt?
no, the one before that,
Something.
the Seagrave,
Oh, Seagrave, yeah.
out at the rendering works.
That's a long time ago.
John says, blast that roof off. Should have a power to blast the roof off.
So I thought you'd like to see that, something you can take a gander at when you're having a cup of coffee or a drink or something. Now you've got September 9th. 11 o'clock
11 o'clock
11 o'clock, yeah.
at the township.
at the township.
Working banker hours.
We need, the only requirement we have for the attorney is we need to have a note taker there, so Wendy will probably have to go with us.
You sent us a notice on that, won't you?
Yep. Wendy can send a notice on that, right? On board.
All right.
That notice will have to be a public notice as well.
Yes. it
We'll
has-
post it
Their
here.
own, yeah.
I'll have Wendy post it here, well, in advance, with the location being 3461 Blue Star. We'll just do the last one, correspondence.
Sure.
I just share this with you, this is really to the Chiefs Association, but I wanted you to know that this group of chiefs, which really came together since the radio system in 2017, I can give $250 of the chief's money to anything, but I wanted to get approval for the $250, and right away they said, let's make it $500. So for Allegan County Safe School Network and for Safe School Conference, the Chiefs Association donated $500, and we got this kind note from Allegan County Community Foundation. We actually have 3 thank yous that'll go before the Chiefs Association on Wednesday, but they're to the chiefs in particular. But I just wanted you to know what the chiefs are doing. We're all cognizant of the schools. One thing I was totally shocked, on a parallel note, that there was a active violent incident training with the county at Hopkins. And they had like 14 fire departments go there, which has never happened before. So learn about active violent shooting, and we're working on doing one just for Saugatuck Public Schools. Probably gonna do it on a school break. We'll do it with Douglas Police, State Police, and the county.
Unfortunately, we need to do those things. I hate the idea that we have to do it. We have to.
We haven't done that in a very long time.
No, I think it was under Chief Giles, Ken Giles. So, but I thought you'd be interested to hear that we,
You'd think with Mike Larson's daughter at that school, they do it more often.
yeah, it's been a while. I've asked him now, I think it's been 2.5 years. Jane was prompting me on it. It's hard to schedule, and I said, well, let's do it on a...
But they haven't
Right.
done it with the new school, which is...
No, so it's a perfect time for it. And you have a lot of new people.
Yeah,
New
oh,
superintendent, you have a new maintenance director.
Yeah.
You have a lot of new deputies, you have even more state troopers that are new. So it's very timely to introduce this.
I'm with Jane, they probably should have done that almost when it was open.
Right. And they have a lot of new teachers, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so Stacy, anything? Eric?
Morgan J, is that painted red, or did I?
No.
So it was painted red.
Yeah, it was
It
always
was
red.
white, and before I became back as chief, it had been painted under the other chief's direction, and the hull was red. Well, we were having failures in the paint, plus it was getting hit pretty much from
Retro.
right, the roundabouts. And the yellow primer, zinc primer was showing through. So, also, we had, the water line was so low, manufacturers don't put the water line high
Yeah,
enough.
enough, yeah.
So you get that scum mark on the river side of the boat. So I decided to raise the water line, and I'm looking at it, and you typically do not paint aluminum workboats. When you paint it, you gotta maintain it.
Right.
Well, the paint was 14 years old, so I hired a sandblaster, sandblasted it all, like I did the decks.
Right.
All that was ground off, so all we have is non-skid. So now all you have is bare aluminum, and where you have stickers are where there's dents that are filled with Bondo that you can't, unless you replate.
Right.
And you'll look at the transom of the Morgan J, the back of the boat, and you'll see it's gray wrapping. That's because there's dents all over it. We got it that way.
Well, yeah.
So to me, it was the best, cheapest way to wrap, they call it wrap, the vinyl transom with the name on, disguise those dents, put those strategically placed stripes over the dents that we inherited, and get rid of the paint.
It looks a whole lot better.
It's the way they should be. You should not paint a workboat. But when John bought it, the Coasties were painting them white. So we got it white.
Then John painted it with house paint.
You sure it wasn't barn paint?
So now there's no paint. It's what we call a mill finish.
It looks a whole lot better.
So I hope you, yeah.
I rode by it and noticed it, and it's like, I wonder if we're gonna paint that thing again, and
No.
there's the answer.
Some people can't stand that mill finish, but to me, it's maintenance free.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
first,
just turned it on.
first round at happy hour,
We're done.
first round at happy hours on Stacy.
I think that's $10 each in the pot bucket for us.
Exactly.
Hey, Dan, anything?
I was there, just a question if we've looked recently at Douglas Cove calls and frequency and whether any actions merited.
I don't know what to do with that.
243 Wiley keeps showing up.
It has climbed significantly, and my only thing you could consider is eliminating responding to priority twos and just do the ones. But I think we should discuss that perhaps the next time.
I didn't mean to solve it now, but.
No, we could present that data, but, you know, there's discretion on a 3, 2, and a 1. So it seems like when we dropped the 3s, it was kind of flatlined, and now it seems like the 3s, priority 3 lowest, you know, all of a sudden it's priority 2, because then we'll come. So but it has increased our call volume, and I don't know why.
Would it warrant a discussion with them?
I could,
It's not a threat at all,
no,
but understanding this is costing the taxpayers. And if it's a 2 or a 1, go for it. But if you're on the edge between a 2 and a 3, and just because you don't wanna deal with it, you call it 2,
Yeah, and I think that's starting to happen.
I think they're calling more for
Right.
2.
Well, and I don't think, they don't have the same motivation that we do. So I don't think it filters down into their night crews, whomever, that, you know, think twice before you ring up 911 to lift somebody back into their bed or whatever.
Right.
And maybe inviting them to this, you know, look at the data, send it to them, and then invite them to this meeting.
David?
Just to clarify, it's not the nursing home that assigns the priority, it's dispatch. So, and they have their own criteria.
Yeah, but they're based on the information they're getting from the nurses.
Yeah.
That's true.
And they know how to play that game, probably.
Yeah, if you walk in an emergency room and you don't say your heart hurts, you're not gonna get looked at right away, so no matter what, even if you stub your toe.
Your heart hurts. Oh, my
Pain
buddy
here.
played that game.
well, the thing,
Looked
the
at.
problem they have at night is, they'll go down to 3 or 4 people. And there's one person in each wing, I think there's 4 wings there. And what you just see is a lack of resources. So what comes to my mind is, okay, where are they 100% occupancy? Or do we have a wing that's empty? Have they increased the amount of patients that they have, that they're taking care of? So it's a good question, and I can talk to them, and then also say the board would like to have you kind of explain this to us.
Because it's a for-profit operation.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I showed everybody when we did this, because they were throwing, well, I pay taxes, and I pulled up and we got like $1,800 a year out, and it cost you $9,000 a year to respond. So that's what you usually get from a taxpayer. I pay you taxes. Well, it's just like the Michigan gas bill. There's a flat rate for this, and if you use it, it costs more. That's the way it can happen. But a for-profit home, I don't know how some of the jurisdictions do it, like on 32nd Street. It's probably 30% of their calls.
Might be interesting see if anybody else has figured out, any other jurisdiction or fire department EMS resource has figured out or looked at alternate ways to try and solve this, try and hold that.
Back when we did this the first time, nobody else had really looked at that yet.
No, but you read about it now. I don't hear anything on the west side as far as anybody doing anything differently. There are a number of departments within Allen County that don't even run Priority 3. There are a number that don't run medical, so there's no impact to them. Like you take Salem, they do 200 calls a year. That's it. So you have where it doesn't become an impact. You wonder about Holland, how Holland handles it.
Yeah, they have quite a few.
They got the hospital right there, they've got AMR based right there, but they still respond, just like Fenville. Got Fenville ambulance right there, the fire department still responds. So I don't know, but I will make an appointment and go there.
Scott?
I got nothing.
Drew?
No, I'd like to thank Eric and Dave for all their work, appreciate that very much. That's it.
Okay. Have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we're out
We
of
all
here.
second.
Thank you.